was a time in the history of Fire Pro Wrestling World where if you wanted to create custom parts or custom moves, you had to be part of a small, well-studied, elite group that utilized Carlzilla's mod pack to implement those things into the game on PC. With the release of PartsCraft and MoveCraft, those creation tools have been given to a much wider audience, and today we're going to be taking a look at 5 creators, some of them older, some of them newer, who have released amazing things with those tools. First off, we're going to be taking a look at the NATSUME Championship Wrestling Ring and Ring Apron created by Mordiah. These call back to the NATSUME Championship Wrestling pixel art wrestling game on Super Nintendo. If you're looking to kind of recreate that nostalgia and perhaps rebuild NATSUME Championship Wrestling in Fire Pro Wrestling World, this ring mat and ring apron will be an integral part of that process. Now, it is worth noting that Mordiah has modernized the logo of NCW to make it a little bit more 2020, but I think that's actually kind of great since the edits you'll be creating won't perfectly match the edits in the older NATSUME Championship Wrestling anyway. Next, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of edits and moves created by D3C4K. I'll also be showing one of the edits created by Avenger 3. D3C4K is one of the new creators on the scene who has done some excellent work already, and Avenger 3 is probably one of the most prolific edit makers that I will recommend to everyone because all of Avenger 3's work is excellent. So we're going to start off with my personal favorite wrestler of all time, that being Raven. D3C4K's Raven is amazing. 4 different attires, all of which spread across various time periods for Raven, including a skirted attire, as well as a Nevermore shirt attire and a custom flannel wrapped around the waist on one of the other attires. Just excellent Raven stuff all around. Included with those, he also created the Even Flow DDT with 2 variants. The Even Flow DDT, which is just sort of a caught out of nowhere Even Flow DDT in which Raven sits up and looks at his opponent with disdain, and the Even Flow DDT B, which is relatively the same but includes a gut kick and also shows Raven sort of staring at his opponent for slightly longer. Both of these are excellent moves. If you're a big Raven fan like I am, I definitely recommend picking them up. Next, we're going to take a look at D3C4K's Razor Ramon. Once again, the patterns and textures that he's created as parts here are absolutely perfect for Razor. They fit to a T, but not as well as the Razor's Edge that D3C4K's also created. Now, this Razor's Edge features the traditional Razor Ramon taunt before hitting the beautiful Razor's Edge. A great sell on it, just an overall wonderful move. I do want to point out that with a lot of D3C4K's finishers, they have a high stamina damage. That is because they're meant to actually finish matches, so keep that in mind if you do go ahead and download these. Next, we're going to move on to D3C4K's Kevin Nash. Once again, great parts being put in here, along with a wonderful jackknife powerbomb. I gotta say, I was blown away when I first saw the hair flip added in, and then the loosely held powerbomb clutch before the release. All of these things are excellent, and it really does feel like a perfect jackknife powerbomb. Now, finally, this one is a little bit different because we'll be looking at Avenger 3's Mr. Perfect edit, but on that edit, we'll be testing out D3C4K's Perfect Plex. Now, the thing I like about this Perfect Plex over the other ones I've seen on the workshop is that this one includes a slight dip of the hips and hop forward, which is very reminiscent of the way that Mr. Perfect would actually set the Perfect Plex up. So I think it looks gorgeous. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it too. It should be on screen right now. I will put all the links for these, of course, down in the description of the video. Before I go on to the next creator, I want to talk a little bit about the community that they represent. That is Fire Pro 2. I myself am a proud member of the Fire Pro 2 team. Fire Pro 2 is the hottest community on the internet for Fire Pro Wrestling World. Not only will you find edits there, moves there, tutorials, but you will find interesting things like move-making competitions. There's all sorts of wonderful stuff going on, and it's just a great place to be if you're looking to find other people who enjoy Fire Pro Wrestling World as much as you do. Now, you can check that out at www.firepro2.com, or you can follow on Twitter at FirePro2com. So with that said, we're gonna jump right into the Chris Jericho profile pack created by Bozosama. This pack is insane, guys. There are moves in almost every single position, ranging the entire career of Chris Jericho. There are lion salts, there are lion tamers, there are double underhook backbreakers, there is a flashpoint. I don't know who remembers that, but that was the sort of sleeper drop that Jericho used as a signature slash finisher for a very brief time. The breakdown is in there. Once again, another short-lived signature finisher. There are new variants of the Judas effect, there are new variants of the Codebreaker. This pack is just incredible. And not only is the pack itself incredible, but it actually plays very well with itself. By that I mean a lot of the moves actually work very well together. For example, the second rope dropkick sets up for the C2C Judas effect elbow or Codebreaker. And the edit you're seeing of Chris Jericho right now is, of course, Avenger 3's Chris Jericho, heralding once again back to Avenger 3 and his wide array of edits you can find on his workshop. Last but definitely not least, we're going to be looking at some hammerlocks and wristlocks created by Suneed. Suneed is one of the most well-polished move makers that's been a part of the community for a very, very long time. I am slightly biased when it comes to Suneed because Suneed actually helped me get into the move-making scene. Just an incredible, incredible creator who creates a lot of things that aren't really wrestler-specific but are more filling gaps in the game. Suneed's workshop is another great place to go if you're just looking for things to sort of fill in the array of moves that are available to you on Fire Pro Wrestling World. That's the 5 creators we're going to be talking about today, folks. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give it a like. Let me know what you thought in the comments, or tell me about some of the great creators that you found, because I want to continue doing this if there's enough interest in it. And of course, if you enjoy the content here on the channel, go ahead and check me out over on Patreon. There will be a link down in the description, as well as links for all of these different creations. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!